Good morning, Nash. I'm Jason Earl.
And I'm Troy Stoudemire, welcoming you to another great episode of Tiger Nation.
The playoff-bound Tiger baseball team wrapped up the regular season on Saturday with a 9-4 loss to Shaler. The Titans broke open a close game with 2 runs in each of the 5th and 6th innings to claim a comfortable victory. Despite the loss, NA sits at 11-9 overall, awaiting the release of the WPIAL playoff bracket.
And the boys volleyball took on the crosstown rivals of Pine Richland. The Tigers won in a dominating fashion, sweeping the Rams 3-0, led by senior captain Austin Kurtanik, who took the game by storm, serving his team out of a 5-point deficit to a 2-point lead. The boys travel to the always talented Shaler High School tonight at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The boys tennis team played their last home match of the season yesterday, defeating Franklin Regional in the WPIAL team quarterfinals by a score of 5-0. Following the win, the 16-1 Tigers will play the winner of today's Mount Lebanon Upper St. Clair contest in a semifinal match tomorrow.
And the track and fielders keep on winning as they took home some hardware at the Baldwin Invitational Friday night, with the girls taking the bronze and boys hoisting that first-place trophy. Josie Landis finished 3rd in the 300-meter hurdles and in the 4x400 relay. Mark Migliozzi finished 2nd in the 3200, and Jake Stupak brought home the silver in the mile. The WPIAL Individual Championships will begin on Thursday.
The varsity softball team traveled to Hempfield area yesterday and saw their 10-game winning streak come to an end as the Spartans defeated the Tigers by a score of 6-4. Prior to yesterday's contest, the Tigers had not lost since April 12th when they fell at Shaler 2-1. The loss drops NA's overall record to a still outstanding 16-2, 12-1 in section competition. They end section play this afternoon at North Hills to take on the Indians in a 5:30 start. A win for the Tigers clinches a share of the section championship.
And sophomore Wes Powell scored 4 goals, including the game winner and a double overtime to lift the boys lacrosse team to a 10-9 win over Birmingham at the MSCLA tournament on Saturday. With a non-section victory, the Tigers improved to 9-7 overall and returned to section play with a big game against PR on the road tomorrow night.
That concludes today's varsity sports coverage for North Allegheny. Troy, I believe we have a few minutes. I'd like to hand it over to you to talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins and their series with the Washington Capitals.
Well, thank you very much, Jason. And the Penguins are heading into Game 6 tonight at home against the Capitals. Last night, Coach Sullivan announced that he will be starting Matt Murray over Marc-Andre Fleury. Jason, what do you think about that?
You know, Troy, I like that decision. I think the Penguins have a lot of great momentum going on right now, and they always say if something's not broken, no need to fix it. I think that's the case here for Pittsburgh. Murray doing an excellent job in net for Pittsburgh. I think they ride Murray. I think they can definitely get this 4th win over Washington in this series and move on to the Eastern Finals.
You know what? I completely agree with that. They did not play too hot in front of him last game. So who are you going to pick for the MVP of this series, Jason?
Well, you know what, Troy, right now I think it's between Matt Murray in goal or Patrick Hornquist on the ice for the Pens. I think those players have really stepped up. Crosby, Malkin, Kessel, obviously the big names. But I think the key for Pittsburgh in this playoffs has been the contributions from those players that have really stepped up to the occasion here in the postseason.
Yeah, I completely agree. Tampa Bay beat the Islanders in a 5-game series, so the winner of the Capitals-Penguins series will play Tampa Bay. Who do you think's going to win that series?
You know, Troy, I like the Pens. A lot of people didn't expect them to jump out to a 3-1 lead over Washington. I think this is a team that is possibly surprising some people, and I think they keep it up in the Eastern Finals if they can finish out against Washington and get the win in this series. I think they go and win in Tampa in 7 games. I like us moving on to the Stanley Cup Final.
I completely agree, but I think they're going to do it in 6 games, Jason.
Well, Troy, I can't argue with that prediction. That's all the time we have today for Tiger Nation. I'm Jason Earl.
And I'm Troy Stoudemire, and we'll see you next week.